Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades Stocks on Sunday, and very excited to talk about what I think the stocks that could really benefit from this big, beautiful bill. Whether you agree with it or not, we have to look at the charts and what stocks may get a nice boost come tomorrow. So let's have a quick look at the SPY to start with here. And of course, if you bought the SPY when I gave you the signal, the Tribal Trades indicator, one indicator to rule them all, accurately called the bottom, okay? And it did, as you can see, as it accurately called the top before there was a capitulation. And this is why I sold all of my stocks around that time, minus Tesla. I did keep Tesla. I did take profits on Tesla. And then I was able to buy back in this around this area here, of course, the high 400s and low 500s. I was able to buy around that area. Now, we have no sell signal yet for the SPY. It just keeps going. But even better than that, we have an inverse head and shoulders pattern. There's the right shoulder, left shoulder, head, and our breakout target is all the way up to around that 720 odd region, although I'd be interested to see what happens once we get to the 1618, 694. You have also other Fibonacci levels there at 697 and 696 that has now officially broken out, and so we are seeing that play out in real time. And of course, speaking of the SPY, some historical data here that the S&P has gained 24% over the last 13 weeks, one of the biggest short-term rallies in history. Absolutely incredible there, what we're seeing with the SPY there. And of course, we also saw with the SPY for July, the S&P 500 has finished green every July since 2015. And at the moment, I'm not expecting that to change. However, there is some uncertainty surrounding the tariffs. News has just broken today on Sunday about how there looks to be yet another extension through to August there. So that looks to be the case for the SPY. I will update that in the Discord as I dig into that there for the SPY. Now, I was looking, different people have had different posts and thoughts. Jay Balor here, what he feels are the 10 biggest winners from the big, beautiful Bill Act there, and he lists 10. But what I'd like to know is if you agree with this list, or which ones you agree with from this list and why, and which ones also that aren't included on this list that could get a bit of a boost. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think could be some real big winners from this bill that has passed. Now, I do agree with NVIDIA, and of course TSM and Palantir, as well as ASTS. Those are all 4 stocks that I have traded and been very successful trading with. In fact, if you go back to my Tribal Trades cheat sheet, the stocks trades section, these were all the entries that I gave. TSM at 147, absolutely incredible as it burst past 230, and I shared these live on the show all those many months ago when I was making those purchases. And then, of course, Palantir at 67. Well, that's taken off like a rocket ship. And then I gave NVIDIA at 90 as well. And I also did give ASTS at $24 in the Discord and on one of the shows, although it's not listed here. Certainly it might get added. This is the Tribal Trades Stock Hall of Fame at the moment, because each one of these stocks has performed magnificently, and these were all the entries I gave at the time. If you had taken these entries with me, you would have also profited greatly. And this will just come back to, with the Tribal Trades Discord, of my 3 portfolio strategy, in that we had the shorter term trades where I teach people how to trade off the 15-minute and the 1 hour time frame. Those trades generally get open and closed on the same day. Sometimes they'll carry over a day or two. We have the medium term traders, which tending to trade more on the 4-hour and the daily time frame. And those trades generally will run anywhere from about 3 to 4, maybe to 10 days. So an average of about a week. And then, of course, we have the longer term trades. So if you're an investor and you don't have time to make those trades, you can just trade with me on the weekly time frames, which has been extremely profitable here. As you can see, these trades that were open all the way back in April, and they are still running strong. So these trades, I trade off the weekly chart, and they tend to run a number of months there. And of course, they can run for much longer. If the signal keeps going strong, then we just stay in the trade. And so I want to share a couple of other stocks that I feel might benefit quite well from this big, beautiful bill. Obviously, with the defense budget that's been factored in, the Lockheed Martin Corporation there hasn't really taken off as yet. However, if we see this break above the 9 EMA on the daily, we know how powerful that is. When the price is above the 9 EMA on the daily, it will lift it above this 20 EMA on the daily, and generally speaking, that has always been good upside, as you can see, when the 9 goes above the 20. In fact, really selling when it goes below the 9, and buying when it goes above the 9 would generally have seemed to be quite profitable there. Another one that I don't hear a lot of people talking about is Caterpillar there. And so I think with the wall building, there's the defense budget for the border wall. Caterpillar has already seen quite a move to the upside there. Again, that seems to have already taken off, so that might be a little late to the party on that one. But however, if there is any kind of a pullback to the 9, this looks to have been quite an exceptional time to buy. And you can see the time to really buy again was when we got above the 9. And I teach in my Discord the 4 entries that can be taken, which is with the Tribal Trades Discord, which obviously gives you the best entry. But if you miss that entry, it can be front there. You can get it on the break of the 9 EMA, or you can get it when the 9 EMA crosses the 20 EMA there, of course, for a third entry. So there are multiple places for entry there. And of course, anytime it comes back and touches the 9 or the 20 has again been, as long as it stays above the 9, that's been quite good. So maybe if we come back down here to the 9, it's about 385. That could end up being a nice little entry there. I would certainly look to be patient on that one there, of course. So I think that also one of the other ones that could work quite well is XOM. And XO is right at the 50-week moving average. Again, you see the beautiful things in play. Best place to enter when the Tribal Trades indicator fires off. Even though there's a little bit more downside, just hold true. You could actually have a second entry and a second fire off there. And then as it breaks the 9, when the 9 breaks the 20, look what happens. You see this big move to the upside. Just like when you see the 9 break below the 20 there, you see this big move to the downside there. And I do love the Tribal Trades indicator because it just, when you're thinking, oh, I don't want to buy the dip that keeps dipping, you just see this ends up being rock solid place to add there. And then of course it was a take profit area up there around 117 odd, came all the way back to 107, gave another buy signal there. But you can see where you buy the Tribal Trades indicator, when you buy when it breaks the 9, you buy when the 9 breaks the 20 there, and then you buy when it comes back and retests the 9 and holds. It obviously did not here, it went below. But then you start the process again where you buy when the Tribal Trades indicator, then when you buy when the 9 breaks the, when the price breaks the 9. And of course the 9 was already above the 20, so that's quite bullish. So I think that's quite good for XOM. And I think that obviously that could end up being quite a good trade as well. And I think one more here that I'll give is going to be Amazon. And the reason I'll give Amazon on here is I just think with the no tax on tips and overtime pay and increased child tax credits, I just think there'll be a boost to discretionary spending, obviously for millions of service and hourly workers, and which is shown to be Amazon's core customer base. So I think Amazon will get a bit of a boost from this as well, because of the additional funds that people will have to spend credits. So I think that will actually drive that. And I do see with Amazon, you see this inverse head and shoulders, this huge inverse head and shoulders pattern that we have here. And so you can see how that could mean a very beautiful breakout target to the side there. And again, let's just show you again, you have the early tribal trades indicator gets you in earlier twice. And then on the break of the 9 EMA, and then when the 9 EMA goes above the 20, look what happens here is it crosses at around 180. That was the last kind of golden opportunity to get up to really get those gains. However, you could have still gotten in on subsequent breaks of key levels like the 50 and the 200. And those are my kind of last chances. And you almost now have a golden cross occurring for Amazon as well. So I would expect some continued nice move to the upside with Amazon there. We can put a technical target in there for where we have with the break of that neckline there. And that's looks like that's going to take us up to price. And these are always subjective, as where you put the neckline 276. Look at that at the 1414 at 276 would be the technical target from that breakout. Obviously, as long as it doesn't come back there and invalidate that, but that is breaking to the upside there. And so, of course, it all starts with the earliest entries, and the earliest entries is the tribal trades indicator there, giving entry after entry. It also gave a beautiful entry there at around 200 and the low 200s there before breaking, and now we're above. So I think those are the ones that I would add to those other ones as well to keep an eye on, and there could be some possible trades and some nice upsides. Now, of course, if you do want to get the tribal trades indicator, one indicator to rule them all, it is exclusive to the Tribal Trades Discord. And so if you're part of the Discord, you have the indicator. If you are not part of the Discord, if you leave the Discord, and that's okay, all the best, you would actually lose access to the Tribal Trades indicator there. And so we are closing the Discord. It is an exclusive family. I call it family now, the Tribal Trades family, Tribal Trades community, but I love the Tribal Trades family because that's what I feel like it is, just filled with incredible people and traders who really are wanting to go and participate and join the wealth transformational journey here within the Discord, and that's the exciting part of it there. And so you can see all the different channels there. We do live sessions every week, a couple of times a week, also on the weekends a couple of times a month. We do that as well. Those are all recorded, so if you can't make them, you can watch them. We also have a trading course in here to teach you the A to Z of trading, life-changing gains trading university there, where you can learn and upskill your trading there, of course. And then we have all the beautiful investing signals, which is the longer term investing, where we share there, and I share my trades in there as well. If you want to trade with me and trade what I trade, that's where you would go. And of course, we have the bots trading in there as well, giving some incredible signals and all the wonderful chats and the wins. I'm not going to take the time to go through all of this, but tomorrow is the deadline, July the 7th. The 7th of the 7th is the cutoff. I've already extended that from the end of June. I extended it for one more week. And I know some of you who have been signing up this week have been appreciative of that. We will close access to the Discord, and it will go to a wait list. And then you'll have to wait on the wait list to get access to the Tribal Trades Discord when we do open up spots again. Below in the description of this video, there is a link. And you might need to click the More button to pop open the description. There is a link at the top. That's where you'll sign up for the Tribal Trades Discord. You only have today, Sunday, and tomorrow, Monday the 7th. If you're looking to sign up, those is your deadline there to get signed up and join the Tribal Trades Discord. All right. Well, as always, until the next episode or until I see you on the Discord, happy trading.